We stumbled upon somebody, Susie Harder. She's out in Clovis, that's doing something very cool in many regards, partly as a result of the creek fire and partly as a result of what she always does anyway. Welcome, Susie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now, tell me, first of all, tell us a little bit about your business.
So my kind of normal job is I'm a speech pathologist, and so I work with kids, and my practice is geared towards helping kids who stutter. So I get to have a lot of one-on-one conversations and just really build that empowering piece for kids. And so as we'll lead into, that's kind of what led me the direction of this project.
Right. And then your project was inspired by, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I grew up in the foothills. I grew up in Toll House, and as the creek fire was starting, it was kind of the rush of, oh my gosh, how can I help? These are my friends. These are, the places that I had sleepovers growing up. And, talk about, the cool things that are happening in the community. I mean, the firefighters, the people in the community stepping up to transport animals, to help people evacuate. I mean, there was just such an amazing strength in that togetherness, and hence Mountain Strong. And after those first couple of days of kind of like, okay, I've donated everything in my house. The donation centers are full. I've given all my money to GoFundMe. What else is it? Everyone is still needing things. And so I kind of went to okay, what is it that I'm good at that I could help contribute? And I'm good at working with kids and helping in really kind of tough situations. And so the idea was born that, okay, well, I'm not seeing a lot of resources out there for kids who have lost a home to wildfire or even dealt with evacuation to wildfire. And so let's make a book. And then from there, it was kind of like, well, the thing I love about my job is kids contributing and just the evolution of how things go when you have kids weighing in with their own ideas. And so I thought, well, much better than coming out with a finished project is let them be involved and publish their own book about everything and kind of be a resource in that way. And obviously raise money as well, but really kind of just be a support and kind of a healing process for kids.
So you're writing a book, but you're eliciting help from the kids.
Yes. So the book title is Where's My House?
Oh my
and
goodness.
It's a girl and her dog. And while they're out on a walk, they come back and the dog's house is burnt down. And so it's age appropriate, and then it's not too heavy and it's not too focused on the negative, but it does validate, that feeling of shock and sadness and what happened. And I miss my things. I miss my bed. And then really kind of focuses more on the rebuilding piece, togetherness, community, everyone coming together. So it has, a nice message with it. So the kids that are wanting to be a part of it, they're in the junior authors program, and they get to sign up. So anyone in the community can be a part of it, Fresno, Clovis, anyone who wants to be. And they get to vote on a series of things for the book. So our first step next week is we'll have 3 different types of dogs, and they get to decide who our main character is. And then they get to decide his doghouse, and they get to decide, so the illustrator is working closely with me. And she's in France, and she's a phenomenal illustrator, and she's on board. She thinks the mission of it is really, just so warm and helpful. And so she's on board, and so they get to vote and be a part of the whole production process.
And that's a junior authors program. Now, before we get, I want to ask you a million questions about that, but the creek fires are going on, and you're living in Clovis, but on the news, did you see things like, oh, I knew that place, or I know that street, or I knew that? Was it hitting home with you?
It was, it really heavily. One of the first times I talked to Athena about it, it was the Monday morning, right after the weekend that had started evacuations, and we were at Cycle Bar at 6 a.m. and I was like crying my whole ride. I was kind of like, I don't know how to help. People are evacuating. Can I call and like put money at a gas station so people have money to get down? Like, I don't know, just brainstorming and talking through all of it. My Facebook feed My sister lives up there, so many of my close friends, so many people that have kids, and I have young kids, so I was kind of processing it in that way too. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot even imagine the questions and the, meltdowns and all of the things that would be happening if that was our situation and we were needing to leave right now. But yeah, my Facebook feed, it wasn't like, oh gosh, here's an update of the fire. It was like, our house is gone. Our house is gone. Our house is
Oh
gone.
boy.
And, so then I think it just kind of cultivates that, sense of in everyone, like, what can I do? Because
Yeah.
it's not like I just call and check in and you're fine. It's like, we need to do something really powerful here.
Now we all, even if you're not from that area, we're all being affected by this fire. Still today, there's smoke, so much smoke, it's unbelievable. So.
Right. I know my car is covered in ash every day.
Yeah.
And,
Now,
and then I'll have those sentimental moments where I see something floating in the air and I think that could be somebody's favorite stuffed animal.
yeah,
That could be someone's photograph of something so special to them. And it's been a really, really destructive, intense month for everyone.
Now, tell me about the organization and how people could get involved in it. Is a Young Authors Program?
Junior Authors.
Junior Authors Program, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And part of it was because I've never written a book before, so I took a course on, how is it that I'm going to do this so it's done well? And I thought, this is so interesting, all the behind the scenes things. And I work with books. I use books all the time, every day. And there's so many pieces I've never known about. And I thought, well, it's so neat that kids could potentially have this experience. And here's what it's like when you're really editing. And here's, you have to decide on your illustrators and you have to decide on all these parts and cover design and details and how to, structure your sentences and place things. And so it will be published on Amazon and it will be available. And so anyone can get it. So the Junior Authors Program is for anybody who wants to be involved, any kids that would like to weigh in and be in the process of this coming out to publish here in a few months. And then the kids that have lost homes have a really special part that they get to be doing. And so those kids, I think I have about 18 on my list so far, are the featured junior authors. They'll be listed in the book as featured junior authors. They'll have an opportunity to draw their home, and there will be a collage dedicated to them. And they get to do a little book release party up in the community and kind of be the one signing the books and really just kind of giving them the opportunity to shift this from such a heaviness to something that's, more inspiring and more fun.
Yeah, and creative,
yeah. And kind of something to put, I know that's kind of what helped me in the process over this last month, was diving into something that was really helpful and inspiring instead of just kind of sitting in the of everything that's happening. And so if I can kind of bridge a little bit of that for kids and in the midst of distance learning and everything else.
So anybody who, let's say there's a mom at home or a kid watching this, they say, I want to be involved or I want to find out more. Where should they start? Should they go to the website?
So the website's coming soon. Facebook page is the easiest right now. So Facebook, it's Junior Authors Program, and there's a place to sign up. You can message me. That's where everything will be posted. So we'll also have a series of free resources and printables. So the illustrator's working with me on that. So we're doing kind of like a grief journal type thing for kids to draw certain things from their experience. So everything will kind of be run. That will be the community of what we're doing and where the voting happens. And then we'll have information on the website. We'll do some pre-orders so that for the kids that are doing the book release party, they can sign everything, and all of them can have it signed ahead of time, ready to go. So, yeah,
well,
Facebook.
what a great project where these young people get to be part of the process, and besides them doing it and having an outcome where there's a book they can hold in their hand, they've learned a lot about the process of writing a book.
Yeah, and I've had a number of teachers reach out already, kind of like, how can I involve my class in this? Yeah. And so it's neat, and a couple of people asking, can we continue this into the classrooms? And I would love to help support kids understanding, kind of the process of writing a book, but even just the ownership and the kind of the feeling of, wow, my voice can be heard, my story can be heard, and it's not just closed off. It's something that you can do if you want to do it, and let's facilitate that process for kids so they can be heard.
Well, I love how the kids are exposed to, it's just not sitting down on a typewriter and hacking out a book, but picking the art and picking, the structure of your sentences and how the story flows. There's a lot that goes into it that most of us can't even imagine. I want to do this. I want to be one of the junior authors. So
I'm learning so much every day.
Yeah.
So as of right now, we have our editor, our illustrator, our formatter, our cover designer. We have our ISBN numbers. We're ready and registered in the Library of Congress, ready to go. We have all of our domain names and Facebook page. Like, this last month has been a lot of the foundational pieces of, let me make sure that everything's kind of in order before we launch this, so that it feels organized and it has a great momentum to it. So,
fantastic.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be published by Christmas.
I know we want you to come back and talk about it more in a couple months, when it's closer to being completed. But if you're watching, now a lot of parents are locked up with their kids, and the kids are locked up with their parents, and they're trying to do this online learning. Everybody's driving each other crazy. This could be a nice diversion, a nice, healthy diversion for parents to sign their kids up for. Do you still have slots, or does it get full?
Yes. Yes, so we are officially launching on Monday, but anyone who visits the Facebook page today kind of has early access. And so the Facebook page is available. And yeah, we'll kind of give it this first week before we start doing the major voting pieces. And then people can kind of jump in and be a part of things and grab things to print and do and activities and all of that kind of as we go.
And then you have a special spots for people who were impacted by the fire? Yeah,
and I'm hoping every time I do a news spot, I always bring a child with me, because most people would much rather hear the story of a child, as I would. I didn't have anyone yet that was kind of far enough in the process to be able to feel comfortable doing it. But my hope is that I can kind of help kids tell their story. And so whether that's through the Facebook page or through a news spot or through a radio show, and just kind of giving that memory. I know every student that I've worked with that had an opportunity to do that was just like, it was such a big deal to them, years later and in high school. And so, so we'll have some really special opportunities to support the kids that have lost homes. People are always asking, like, what can I do to support right now? I'd say, just sign up under the Facebook page, Junior Authors Program, and then you're enrolled, in a sense, in the forward momentum of what the kids are doing. And on there, I posted a couple of the fundraiser pages, if that, they're not related to me, but like Sierra Unified has a really good one for the Dream Bedroom. Nice. And Sierra Foundation is a great one that's doing kind of dispersing funds between all the people that lost homes and the schools up there. So.
Pretty traumatic, and trying to make the best of things after it. And these experiences these young people have, they can capture them and turn them into something creative. And we appreciate your doing this. Our guest is Susie Harder, the Junior Authors Program. Go to Facebook, you'll find it on there. Thank you, Susie, and we look forward to hearing more about the program.
I appreciate it. Right. And thanks to all the firefighters, if anyone was watching.
And we will be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.